Hello and welcome to this edition of Arts Alive Film, coming to you from the Odeon Liverpool One. My name's Tony Lindsay.
And my name's Tony Lloyd. So what have we got this week, Tony?
This week we have a sci-fi double bill, starting with Jupiter Ascending and moving on to Project Almanac.
Project Almanac. Time travel.
Time travel.
Tell me the paradox of time travel.
You can't meet yourself coming back. You can't occupy the same space twice.
No, or it could, if I'm allowed to say this word, be catastrophic. Okay, first up is the sci-fi epic, which is Jupiter Ascending. What do we think?
Yeah, more kind of space opera than sci-fi, I think.
Yeah.
It's got a touch of the old Flash Gordons about it.
On a massive budget, of course.
Oh, yeah,
What was
it
the
was
budget?
176 million. Bombed a bit in the States, by all accounts. This is written and directed by...
The Wachowski, well, the former Wachowski brothers, now
Lana and Andy.
Wachowski.
Okay.
I think they've been, since The Matrix, I know there was rumblings, people didn't enjoy the last two of the Matrix trilogy, but The Matrix, the irony is The Matrix looks more modern, which was done.
Yeah, as I say, there's a touch of the very old-fashioned, as I say, more Star Wars than Matrix, because they had Speed Racer, which bombed as well after the.
So I think this is a definite climb back to former status.
Yes.
Whether it's going to help them, I'm not too sure. I mean, this story set on a populated Earth, but we don't really see the population of Earth. It's very
it's
bound
more,
into its characters.
It's more deep space stuff, not parallel, other universes, etc. Earth has been seeded by an alien race, and the idea behind that is that they will then harvest the humans to create a truth serum. And we have this intergalactic family, don't we? Abrasics?
Yeah, very, very Dune-like with these dynasty families, the house of whoever.
And they, of course, they own Earth. And then along comes our heroine, Jupiter Jones, Earth Girl. Kind of more Sam Jones, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
Acting's a bit flat there, folks. And she is genetically identical to the matriarch of this family.
So while she scrubs toilets, she's unaware that she's really the Princess of Earth.
Absolutely. A lot of visual effects in this, folks. I mean, it runs like a visual effects show reel.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the action sequences go on and on and on. So if you're a fan of those, then fair enough.
This is for you.
I think you'll enjoy
Channing
it.
Tatum's in there as the guardian of the heroine.
Some cool air boots.
Half dog, half wolf, half genetically created soldier. Sean Bean's in there. You've got Eddie Redmayne playing this head of this intergalactic family with the most irritating
voice ever. Never join the Samaritans, Eddie, or it's not going to go down well.
No, not at all. A little overblown, folks. As its moments.
I think if you're a fan of sci-fi, and especially if you're the age range, it's 12A, I think it was. I think if it's your first innings with sci-fi, I don't think you'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Some lives will always matter more than others.
Jupiter!
Okay, our second film of the week is Project Almanac.
Time travel extravaganza. Well,
yeah,
that's what we thought.
We thought this is a found footage film, folks.
Which I love. I like the genre. I don't mind. I know it plays with the narrative a bit, and I'm always worried about how the damage it does to general classic narrative. But I do like the found footage thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. It starts off promisingly. Directed by Dean Israelite. Some great names there. The writer, or the writers, Jason Harry Pagan.
Love it.
And Andrew Deutschman. Okay. Yeah, so this is a found footage film. It's about a group of
Young, just general, small town teenagers.
yeah, and they discover that one of the guys' dads has been experimenting with a time travel device.
And he's dead now, isn't he?
He's dead. He died 7 years ago on the boy's birthday.
And they're watching, what I think the main protagonist is watching a tape from his 7th birthday, and lo and behold, sees himself.
That's right.
His adult self reflected in a mirror behind, and then the.
He's a bit of a science bod.
He's a science buff. He is.
Yeah. So he goes down into his dad's basement and finds under the floor this time travel device, and they start experimenting with it, which takes about 30 more minutes of the narrative until they eventually discover how to work this thing, and then you think. Well, what are they going to do?
Well, they start off with lofty ambitions, don't they? One of them says they want to meet Einstein, but like all our lofty ambitions, they come to nothing, because what do they do?
Well, they travel back. I think 3 years is the most they can travel back. They go to a rock concert, and then they start falling in love, and it's about missed opportunities. So he goes back again and plays the same moment with his girlfriend. Then
With
he starts
repercussions,
time travel, ripple effects, etc., etc. And that's what it's about. It's this science fiction story, but it's wrapped up inside this teenage love story.
And it is, let's face it, it's MTV film.
It's MTV produced it, so it's
set
of
for that youth.
It's
definitely the youth.
Johnny Weston
audience.
as David, the hero. Sophia Black Diella as Jessie.
Well, we spoke to him. We said, in the end, they could have visited anyone. Well,
they talk about Woodstock at one point.
At one point, but really, they're quite banal with what they do with it, and we were kind of saying, well, that's ridiculous. But then, sadly, maybe that is the truth. If certain people get a hold of it, maybe they wouldn't treat it as much. I'm not saying that was done on purpose, but for my money, I'd say if you're young and it's a bit of an adventure, see it. But if you're seriously interested in time travel, I'd have a look at something like the Spanish film Time Crimes, or
even Back to the Future.
Or Back to the Future, Primer.
Time After Time. Somewhere in Time.
The new Ethan Hawke film, Predestination. I don't know if you've seen that.
Okay.
That's really cool. But it's got a bit more meat on the bone. But this is good, but it's lightweight fare. I think the trailer's a little bit misleading. I thought it was going to be...
Michael Bay produces, so you think you're getting, of that ilk, but not really.
So see what you think.
There was a plane crash, riots, disasters. None of this happened before.
Things are spiraling out of control.
You didn't care that all of your friends could be hurt?
Jesse's missing and no one can find
David,
her.
it's me.
Yeah, no!
I'm going back to the beginning.
It could kill you.
That's the only way to stop all this from happening.
Don't shoot!
So that was one incredible slice of sci-fi.
A load of rubbish, if you ask me, but there you go. Okay, that's it for part 1. Part 2, we have our DVD reviews and our look at the First Take Film Festival. What's wrong with you?
In a moment. I don't know why.
See you after the break, folks.
See you after the break.
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Arts Alive Film, coming to you from the Odeon Liverpool One. What have you got for them now, Tom?
Well, recently we caught up with Lynn Harwood, who's one of the directors of First Take, and we were invited to the World Museum of all places to see their Road to Recovery festival.
Well, it's almost a year, in fact, just a little bit over a year, yeah. And what happened is a year before that, we met this guy, Les Cox, on a film that we were making, and he was an extra, and he just said, oh, you should make this film about this boat. I think he said ship actually, but it's actually a yacht in the end, yeah. And he said, you should make this film because they're doing it up in the recovery community. And I just thought, oh, that's a fabulous film, it needs making, yeah. So then, as you do, you start fundraising, because First Take, we work in the community, so we basically rely on getting funding in to make sure a project happens. So we started fundraising, we got some money from Awards for All, and we got some money from Liverpool City Council to make it happen. So then we moved forward and we partnered Genie in the Gutter and Art and Soul, and we also put adverts up in the Brink, and basically got through them access to people in recovery. And we've never looked back. It's just been one amazing journey from start to finish. So at the beginning, I went in and did writing workshops with them. We started talking about ideas for films. We looked at short films. We looked at films that were good, bad, or whatever, and we just talked about them. We talked about what films we want out there from their voices. So we ended up with 5 films that are all written by people in recovery, and they're for people in recovery or people that want to get into recovery. And they're just to make you think, and they're some of them based on true stories of what they had been through.
Sting anyone on?
Yeah, you've got Steve Albee, Duncan, Phil Lane and Jenny. Yeah.
Come here.
Ambulance. It's me friend, she won't wake up, she's freezing cold. Yeah. Alcohol! I made this shackle round my neck for many years. Reduced so many of my friends to one hand, bringing me tears. Compared the truth to the illusion the poison seems to bring. More minuses than pluses when I succumb, go on a binge.
Hopes dashed, dotted and dabbed, skin plastered over like pavement, soul entombed in the workman's shoes. That's a bad wall I built. Everything's uneven and odd, like the story of God, it mocks me.
I started voluntary work on the tall ship Zebu in the Albert Dock. Met some people there, Paula Sims and John Berg. They had this yacht. It was going to be scrapped, and I asked them for it to use it in the community. I wanted to start a project up to help other people in recovery to regain their confidence and skills that they've forgotten about.
Well, more than anything, it occupies my mind, and I've come to realise since I've abstained from drink and drugs that I have an artistic streak.
I'm dreaming of...
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Santa used to visit me when I was a little girl. My best Christmas was when I got a dog. I loved that dog. Rosie, I called her. Oh, I loved her, that dog.
You're scaring my punches. Now push up.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Absolutely inspirational for the recovery community in Liverpool. I'm only 3 months in, and it saved my life. As I come straight from prison, and I've seen a few films similar to them, but different ones. You can't beat them. That is what a person in recovery needs.
Oh, it was the first time I've seen them. I work at Art and Soul, and they were fantastic. I mean, the quality and the experience we've got at our project is unbelievable. We've got the band, the writing group, drama, film group. We run everything there. We believe in recovery through creativity, and that's what we offer.
I really enjoyed it. I was really nervous watching it back. I was dreading watching it, but I really enjoyed it. I think everyone's done a really good job.
Oh, it absolutely was my first piece of acting, other than doing short pieces in drama at Art and Soul. This is my first acting, and I've tried to put as much as I could into the character. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. My daughter's cried, which is always a good thing.
I got involved by Art and Soul on Mount Pleasant, which are a recovery service. I've been attending there about 18 months, and they've been a lifesaver, and I mean that literally.
Well, the ISIS, as you've probably seen from the films, a 32-foot ocean-going yacht, and that's what we eventually, once we get enough funding in, is to put it back on the sea and sail it at least around Great Britain, if not just to Ireland and back. Okay. But, you know, it's not just to go out on the Mersey. No. We hope to make good use of it.
Well, I done everything there enough. Well, I had a little role in everything. I done the acting, production, location, props.
Absolutely fabulous, brilliant, very inspirational. Learned a lot from them.
Very emotional. Our brother was involved, and he's a different person. He's learned so much, he's done so much, and seeing what they've done today was inspirational. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we're proud.
And we are, as a family, very proud of our brother, Frank Resendi.
Been fantastic. We've been treated like family by first take. They couldn't have done more. Len even sat with us for a couple of days, taught me how to basic editing.
I feel brilliant. I mean, we've had 2 screenings because we usually just have the 1 screening here, and it's like 100 seat capacity here. And at the World Museum, and it's brilliant.
This was the second house, so to speak.
So this was the second house. Both were full,
right?
Yeah, and both were, you know, full of people that the films are made for.
Right.
And so fabulous support, and it was lovely to have the Art and Soul band play after the films had been screened because they were great, and it just like finished it off lovely.
Fabulous bunch of people, don't you think?
Excellent.
Some great work there. Okay, our DVD reviews. We've got a couple of corkers for you this week, starting with Annabelle, the spin-off prequel to The Conjuring from 2013.
And don't forget, very quickly, this the Annabelle doll in question actually exists as part of the paranormal investigators, the Warrens' own foul museum of supernaturalness.
Okay. We've got Annabella Wallace and Ward Horton as a young couple plagued by supernatural phenomenon. Their neighbours are murdered by their young daughter, who belongs to a cult. She then commits suicide, but comes back in the form of a doll, as it were. The doll is basically a conduit, isn't it, for the evil?
A gateway for this. But because of the doll, it's placed in vulnerable areas, as in the child's room. With
some great shots in this, folks. It's good filmmaking.
If you're a fan of The Conjuring, you're going to be a fan of this. But
homage to Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Even the heroine's called Maya. Go and see it.
Some good scares.
Absolutely.
Some good scares.
So,
our next one up, we're back into the late 1940s for
Fury.
Brad Pitt's vehicle of choice, tank.
Now
Fury.
This is it's post Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers. This does for tanks what Das Boot did for the submarine.
Absolutely.
Visceral, gritty, hard edge.
Some fantastic performances from the whole cast. Shia LaBeouf, or however you say his name, for me was a revelation. Brad Pitt too.
Brad Pitt. Logan Lerman is the
tortured faces of what they've seen. You can only hazard a guess at the terrible
and you see it all in this, folks. They don't pull any punches. It's the dying days of World War II, and what can we say?
Final mission, I suppose, of this tank crew.
Absolutely.
But it's so desperate. You don't know what's going on from 1 minute to the next.
We must mention DOP Roman Vaznyov. His colour palette is fantastic.
My only objection, a little bit for yourselves, might be the end. I wasn't too sure where it was trying to take off the brilliant rough edges of earlier on. But that's just a minor quibble.
Get this one out, folks.
Get it out.
Light 'em up!
I'm scared too.
We're still in this fight! We're still in this fight! Come on!
Okay, so that's all we've got time for on this edition of Arts Alive Film.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Goodbye.